evening. I'm a great recovering alcoholic. My name is LT. I do have a sobriety date. That date is October the 11th, 2000. I do have a home group. I do have a sponsor. I'm up here tonight trying to share my story. I'm going to try to articulate something that really I can't articulate because it's something spiritual. You know, so I'm going to try to stay out of the alcoholism, get to recovery. But I do have to qualify myself. I took my first drink when I was 17. I arrived in Alcoholics Anonymous when I was 31. 14-year drinking career. I've been sober 15 years. It took me 14 years to get in the woods. So about 1 year outside the woods this way. I did grow up in an alcoholic home. I can't say that because my mom was a recovering alcoholic. If she makes it till December, she'll be putting up 25 years. You know, and what can I say? I mean, the ism was there. You know, I grew up, like I said, alcoholism was my problem. Not wasn't, ism. You know. So anyway, when I was 17, I took my first drink and poured alcohol on my ism. And like I said, I put it down. I've been on with the ism ever since. You know. If I jump all over the place, this is where I am. You know, so if I'm here and I'm there, and I go, that's the way it is. I am a very grateful recovering alcoholic. I'm grateful for these principles and these steps, which I had no conception of before I got here. Before I got here, you know, a lot of my ideas were like fixed and old ideas, you know, religious ideas. I thought I knew what alcoholism was, you know, this and that, and didn't really know anything. You know, I arrived in Alcoholics Anonymous, like I said, busted and disgusted, you know, and for me, it was really the last house on the block. You know, and I became open, honest, and willing as only divine could be. You know, and I snatched that man, my sponsor. He's getting ready to pick up 34 years. He's a physician, and I'm a little bit sicker than most people, and I guess that's why I got as a sense of humor and fit a physician / sponsor in my life. You know. I'm grateful, man. I mean, you know, I ain't gonna go into a drunk log. I mean, we all know how to get drunk. You know, I gotta talk about recovery. You know, because recovery is the best thing that ever happened to a guy like me. You know, and I love studying recovery. I love practicing recovery. I love living recovery. I love working steps. I like making mistakes but not having to get drunk behind them. You know, I do claim spiritual progress, but I do strive for spiritual perfection because I don't get complacent, because this disease is cunning, baffling, powerful, and insidious, and it is patient. And I can only keep what I have by giving it away. And I can't give something that I don't have, so I better make sure that I have it first. And I'll have something to transmit. You know, and you know, I try to stay in that. So when I do come to AA meetings and stuff like that, you know, I have something I can bring to the meeting. You know, I can have something to bring to my other brothers and sister alcoholics. You know, I don't know about anybody else. When I got in Alcoholics Now, I didn't arrive here on any virtue. It was under the lash of alcoholism. You know, but I arrived, but since I've been here, I've had to learn a little bit about these principles and how to practice these principles in all my affairs. When I first got here, you know, I sort of understood the alcohol part, but I didn't realize about my life part. You know, and it has taken me a while, and sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly, but it has materialized for this alcohol. You know, really like, you can be in the traditions, the fellowship's wonderful, this and that, but recovery is right there. You can be in the fellowship and not recovery. And if you want recovery, there's recovery. You know, and this is the way it is. You know, and I'm grateful, like, for me and everything. You know, like, I'm gonna talk a lot about like paradoxes, because when I first got in Alcoholics Anonymous, that was the one thing that became very apparent to me. There was all these mysterious paradoxes that I couldn't quite wrap my mind around it. And I had that loving sponsor that guided me and loved me, you know, and was there for me, and, you know, sometimes he wouldn't co-sign my BS, and sometimes, you know, he just We trudged, and we kept trudging, we're still trudging this road of happy destiny. Because I believe for me, you know, Alcoholics Anonymous was my destiny. You know, that God knew me before I was born, and he sort of saw the whole picture. And I just, when I was in my active alcoholism, I couldn't see AA. I wish I could. It might have made it a little bit easier. But I had to feel what I had to feel, so when I got to AA, I could carry a message of hope. You know, just how to get through the mess and get honest with myself. You know? And I'm still working on that. The only step I've worked up there, I'm 100% completed. Not about anybody else. I've been around here, like I said, 16 years. This October, one day at a time, sometimes 1 minute at a time. The only step I've completed is step 1. I've worked that 100%. The rest of them, I'm still working. You know, and I'm still practicing them. You know, and it's a program of action. You know, and sometimes, like me, and I get so busy doing things, I need to be still and know that my higher power is there. LT, be still, know I'm God. And you know, sometimes I need to get off my butt and get busy. You know, and I never quite had the wisdom to know the difference until I got my AA and became teaching. You know, man, I like, you know, I look back and I like my sponsor and everything. I had to talk a lot about sponsorship, a lot of people, this and that, you know, sponsorship's the backbone. I love my sponsors, man. You know, I mean, like when I look back, because a lot of things I'm saying here tonight's in retrospect. You know, I'm looking back. And that's the good thing about telling your story, you get to go back. I don't mind going back, but I ain't gonna live there. Because the best years of my life are in front of me. You know, I believe that. You know, I don't sit there and look, I've been sober, you know, because AA has been the best thing. And the only thing I can say, if I just keep trudging along, if the rest of my life, because see, I want to die sober. I don't know about anybody else, that's my goal. And the only way that I can die sober is not drink alcohol. You know, because I'm one of those, if I drink alcohol, I would drink myself to death. That's who this alcoholic is. I don't know what y'all's story is, I don't know what my story is. But I had that mental obsession coupled with the physical allergy. And if I take it to the system, I can't stop. You know? And I didn't realize that the only thing that could fix that was something spiritual. Not religious. You don't get, I mean, I know there might be some religious people on here, and that's fine. Nothing against religion, but AA is not a religious program, it's a spiritual program. You know, and that's what's so wonderful about it, it's all inclusive. It doesn't exclude anybody. If anyone has a desire to stop drinking liquor and you're sincere about it, well, guess what? AA is for you. That's the only requirement for AA membership. And all recovery is an opportunity. Not only to do something about your drinking, but to do something about your life. You know? And I love the AA life. I love what AA's given me. You know, and I can't sit up here and say, I've been sober on my own merits. No, a loving and powerful God has done for me what I could not do for myself. You know, and he does work in mysterious ways. And he does do for me what I cannot do for myself. But there are some things that I must do for myself. You know, and I'm very grateful. You know, and for me, I just try to stay spiritually fit. I try not to get too cocky about my sobriety. You know? Well, I've been sober a long time, man. You know? At the same time, I don't sit, I don't want to drink, man. I don't want to drink. Because both sides of that equation is unfitness. It's not being spiritually fit. I'm a man. I just happen to have the disease of alcoholism. That does not make me a second-rate citizen. You know? And that's what I'm grateful for AA, because I can actually feel today. I can have empathy today. I even know how to love, to receive it and reciprocate it. And trustworthy. You know? I'm a trusted servant, not a twisted one. You know? I can stay up here and talk about gratitude, but you know what? There's not enough time in the day if I sit up here and try to make a list, because really gratitude is an action word. And I used to make a list and everything, but it's gratitude. You have to put your gratitude in action. And I'm very grateful for my recovery, so I try to take care of my recovery. I try to cultivate it, and I try to practice it. I try to pass it on. And I've learned from my experience, that recovery is right here. The problem is right here. And I had to drop 18 inches, because it's 18 inches from here to here. And I realized when I first got here, I tried to think my way into it. And I realized that ain't the way it works. You gotta live your way into certain things. I had to feel what I had to feel, and a lot of it did not feel good. But I've been tried and proved. Tried and proved. And I ain't gonna say everything's been hunky-dory, so I've been an alcoholic, because that would be a lie, and this is an honest program. I've been homeless in recovery, jobless, years in recovery, and broken. But I didn't have to drink. I had on recovery with everything, because come fair weather or foul weather, I don't have no conditions on recovery. Like you gotta understand, he ain't no Santa Claus, and he ain't no wish. I don't send anything. He ain't a genie. Give me my wishes, give me my wishes, give me my wishes. Nah, it's thy will be done, and bring it on. I'm in courage. That's what he's giving me. That's what recovery is all about. And not be an example. Anyone can talk a good game, like I'm talking tonight. I need to go out there and walk what I talk. And I try. Because that's all I have to do is, having had spiritual representatives, that we tried. It does not mean that I'll be successful, but I try. And it's spiritual awakening type. Like I said, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly, and sometimes I might have gone back to sleep and been aroused again. And someone's asked before the meeting when I pulled up about these promises, they've been realized over and over for me. I love AA. I love me. I can actually look in the mirror and sort of have respect for that dude now, man. He's been through a lot. He's a pretty good guy. I didn't think that when I was out there. As far as courage out there, it was liquid courage. The courage that I learned in AA is a different kind of courage. And for a guy like me that's been in combat, I shouldn't, courage really shouldn't be I know like some people, our stories are different, come from all different walks of life and this and that and everything. And courage means different things to different people and everything. But I am a man of courage. And courage is an A principle, or step. And if there's any newcomers around here that don't know what the message is, well, the message is hope. And if anyone doesn't know what the principles are, I think I'll run them down. Because maybe I need to hear them so I can keep practicing them. Step one, honesty. Different kinds of honesty. Cash register honesty, honesty with self, honesty with the higher power. Step two, open-mindedness. You can't draft an old, new idea on a closed mind. You gotta stay open-minded. A spiritual concept. Don't get bogged down. If it's spiritual, just ask yourself, what does that mean to me? How can I apply that? Working good for him. I might try it and see if it works good for me. And if it don't, that's okay. I don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I have to come back to it. Because some things I've learned that I need to stick and stay, and some things I need to realize I need to throw away. They don't work. And during my journey, what I realized was something that worked pretty, because I've been through different phases of development. And there's been some things that worked in the beginning, but now I've grown a little bit more and everything, and I don't need to apply them, I need to upgrade it. But they're still in my toolbox. They're still there. You know? And I'm not sure trying to pass these tools along. But they work. Because, you know, if anyone doesn't believe in miracles, you know, 'cause a lot of people get bogged down in these miracles about the big book. You know, and they say, well, you know, that was 2,000 years ago. I am a miracle. I am a living, breathing miracle. So if y'all aren't convinced about miracles, we've seen one right here tonight. My recovery proves that. And everyone in here is a miracle. We are miracles. You know? Back to the steps. These principles. Willingness, third step. Courage, integrity, humility, some more willingness, some humility, forgiveness, freedom, perseverance. Well, I tell you, that's the only way I've been able to stay in here. A lot of times, persevering. You know, you ever heard of a life preserver? Or how about some preservatives in those strawberry jams? You know? Like, see, steps 1 through 9 was me getting sober. One, it took me a long time to get sober. Make amends, getting honest. And then 10, 11, and 12 was staying sober. You know, and from my experience, it's a lot easier staying sober than it is getting sober. You know, so 10, 11, and 12. 10, perseverance. 11, patience. And 12, faith. And men of faith have courage. They trust their God. You know? Because a lot of my problem before I got hurt was self-reliance. It wasn't going to get done if I didn't do it. And I came in and I realized, no, God reliance. You know, I need to chill out. You know, but 1 through 11, you know, to me, it's like a rudiments. It's like a journey. You know, it's like a quest, an adventure. You know, you on this journey, man, you know, picking up these little rudiments along the way, and it's wonderful. You know, little things that help you along, you know. And boy, it's beautiful. Recovery's wonderful, man. It's a beautiful journey. Sometimes it hurts. But you know what? If I'm painstaking, you know, I didn't say painful because if it hurts too much, you know what? I could drink. You know, because that's what I used to numb the pain, that psychic, emotional pain. You know, but at the same time, if it's painless, I'm not working it. I'm complacent. So somewhere between those absurdities is my truth. It's called a field, and I can plant it, and I can work on it, and I can prune it, and it can grow. And it's beautiful. And it's reality, you know? I'll tell you, the last thing that I expected when I came to Alcoholics Anonymous was a spiritual awakening. I did not expect that at all. Only thing I noticed, I was hurt, and I didn't want to hurt no more, man. You know, and alcohol was not fixing it. You know, in the end, they couldn't do nothing about my pain, and they couldn't do nothing about my alcohol. Well, what a crux that is. You can't do anything about that because of that. I mean, that's a dilemma. I was there. I think when I first got in AA, I think I'm 6'2", I'm as tall as Dr. Bob and Bill W. But they were both 6'2". I like that. I'm good company. You know what I'm saying? If anyone don't know, remember the co-founders of Alcoholics Anonymous. Bill W., New York stockbroker, Dr. Bob, active physician, proctologist. They used to always want you gotta have a sense of humor too in the AA bag. My sponsor told me to develop a sense of humor, man, and that has saved me many, many times, you know. And I've always wanted to know how Dr. Bob, you know, how he got the A and everything, you know, being a doctor and a proctologist and everything. He worked around buttholes all that. He's a proctologist. You know, I used to always feel like, like I'm powerless if I put this into my body, but what I realized too, because I've had sponsors do it, I'm powerless if they put it in their bodies too, because it hurts. To see someone, to see them doing good, and all of a sudden they just self-sabotage or some kind of defective character or something, man, they just just going to go through the process of that instead of the process of recovery. But what I've learned about recovery ain't for wimps. And sometimes you got to go to any length. It's nothing in someone up saying, look, man, I'm hurt. And be honest. And it's hard for a man to admit that. Well, maybe some women too. But I'm just a man. I'm human. Well, really what it is, what I'm really realizing is I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. That's the way I look at it. I'm spiritual. I was born with the soul. I didn't realize it. I didn't really think I had one until I got here. Because I was one of those that had a hole in their soul. I felt with all these things out here, all these external circumstances, pomp, job, trophies, escalades, that kind of thing, and just wouldn't fight. No matter what I put in there, it still just wouldn't fit. And I'd hurt. But I told these airs like, oh, I'm good, man. And then I'd go home, I'd be like this. Get down on my knees, man. Now, I heard suggested everything, you need to get down on your knees, this and that and everything. What I realized, it ain't the position of your body. Well, I do get on my knees now. But it's the condition of your heart. Just like there's a lot of people in here tonight, positioned in here. Everyone's got a seat in here in their position and everything, but I'm here to ask you, where's your heart at? And if you're an alcoholic, which I am, you gotta have a heart when it comes to working with other alcoholics. That's what makes us so uniquely special with each other. We know what it is to be an alcoholic. A lot of people come, well, you don't understand. You've never been there. I've been there. Got the hat and the t-shirt. And that's why we're so useful to each other, because it's a we program. Because see, when I first got it was me. On that culture, I was on my pain, my misery, my agony, and my thinking had it switched 180 degrees from me to we. And that's how I first started eating this higher power thing. I made it root my higher power. A lot of this stuff I'm talking about, I had to grow into it. It didn't come overnight, and I didn't become an alcoholic overnight. Like I said, I had a 14-year career in it. Especially when I grew up saying I will never drink. I had a low opinion of alcoholics when I was growing up, because my mom was an alcoholic. So I was going to be the family hero. Straight A's. Good guy. And then I got an A and everything, and what really helped me out, because my sponsor was a physician, he sort of helped me with the illness part of it first. I had to get the part, and I was, not only was I mentally and physically ill, I was spiritually sick. That sort of takes the sting out of that a little bit until I could get my mind wrapped around it. I could have empathy, towards myself. And all this God stuff later on, they sort of came later, but I had to pick first things first. And I had to realize that alcoholism is an illness. I was a bad guy. And I had to come in A and become a good guy. I was a sick person. And I had to come in A and learn how to get well. And the reason I'm here tonight, because I owe a debt of gratitude to Alcoholics Anonymous that I could never pay back in my lifetime. If I lived 50 years from now, which may be 97, I could never pay back AA what it's given me. And I'm up here trying to give back to help a newcomer. And old timers too. Long timers. That's what I'm up here doing. Just to let you know that, there is hope if you have this illness. It ain't, I'm not going to say all people are just, you know, if they were untrustworthy, then they come later on, you know, trustworthy now. No, I ain't saying all that. Everyone's different. We all come from different walks of life. I'm just telling my story. And this is, well, not only my story, it's like my and God's story. And every alcoholic that's ever tried to help me. You know, because when I first got, I remember this old timer, just like, the women in AA, the older women, they've done so much to help me more than the guys have. I don't know what it is about these old women in AA, man, because I was really sensitive. You know, when I first got here, man, I can't be apologizing for this. Man, I'm so sorry. And this old time, I think she had about 4 decades of recovery. Pulled me outside of a meeting and everything. She said, LT, you know what, man, I've watched you come running for a few 24 hours and this and that. Man, you do a whole lot of apologizing. Sorry this, sorry that. She goes, I'm going to tell you something. There's something you will never have to apologize for ever again if you get this in your head and get in your heart. I'm like, what is that, Miss Flood? She said, trusting and relying on the God of your understanding. And I will not make no apologies for that to no one. I trust my God. I rely on my God. I don't put limitations on my God. Right? He helps me with life on life's terms. When it gets hard, well, guess what? He helps me somehow, some way. He does do for me what I cannot do for myself. He always has, always will. I didn't even realize that even before I got here, he was doing that. And then all of a sudden the lights come on, and I look back and say, okay. But I've gotten to know him better too. And for me, I haven't been around the age this time, you know, like life on life's terms and everything. God has not brought me into the program, into the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous, right? And all of a sudden say, whoop, this is too big. I'm gonna drop you on your head. I love him, God wouldn't do that. This too shall pass, just another growing opportunity. And ain't always hunky-dory and honest. You know, a lot of times it's, instead of the wishbone, it's put a little backbone into it. I wish. No. Hey, Doc, I need some help, man. I'm sure I don't want no one to take this in bad taste, but I have to share this because it keeps coming up, something I've had to work with because, you know, it just is what it is. You know, I really thought I knew my sponsor, this and that, you know, because I call him somebody I work with. You know, I'm not one to just have the sponsor name. I actually will use my sponsor and work with him. Always have. And I was having a situation, I don't know, I was about 7 years sober. And, yeah, it was about 7 years sober, clean and dry. And I started having some issues, man. I was working 2 jobs and going to school, taking on 2 months. I said, I better call my sponsor, man. You know, I was working on 4 steps and everything because I thought I was hallucinating. You know, but I couldn't blame it on DTs or hallucinations. It just was what it was. And I said, I better call him, man. I thought I knew him so well. I thought he would say, LT, it's all right, man. I'm going to send the sheriff to your house. I'm going to send the paddy wagon to your house. And those guys that get out of the paddy wagon with the lab coats, them are not angels. You know? So I explained to him what was going on with me, this and that and everything. And you know what Frank told me? He said, just get the quick the end of it. He said, LT, you know what I think, you know, it's about time you dealt with that. I'm like, really? I said, you don't understand, man. I mean, this is as good as I've ever been in my life. He said, LT, man, you know, I had to turn a face of mine a long time ago, and I think you come far enough in your recovery, it's time for you to turn a face. I had to turn a face of my demons, man. You know? And it was scary, you know, and I mean, my family feared for my sanity, I feared for my sanity, you know, but God brought me through that. And I'm a better person because of that, you know? And I asked him, I said, how long has this been going on? He said, since you were born. You know, I was finally able to get honest about those torments, those pains that I've been dealing with that I would not tell nobody else about. I tried to keep to myself. But the day came when I had to get honest about it. And I'm glad I did. And I walked through it. Clean and dry. And got to the other side of it. You know, so if anyone ever has things like that, don't feel bad. You're not alone. You know, ain't none of it, well, I mean, we're diverse and everything, but we're very unified too. There's a lot of unity in diversity. That's one thing about A and everything. It ain't just like, as this one sees it, that one sees it. Well, you got it, you got it. No, it's a we thing. Group conscience. It's a spirit. You know, it's a LT, love and tolerance. You know, love and tolerance. And I love you, whether or not you love me or not. And if I love you and you don't love me, I have to tolerate. I'd rather be in the love than the tolerance. I don't like practicing tolerance. I don't. It's necessary. You know, when I open up to somebody and I love them, and yet they turn around and I feel like they hate me. You know, I'm like, it shouldn't be like that. That's all right. There's a big guy in the sky. You know? Let's see here. Let's see, Saturday night, my name, I ain't ain't no bar tonight. It's hard to be here in the bar too, ain't it? You know? Set them up back. I'm just grateful we're becoming alcoholic. Like I said, I can go on and on and on. And I think I will just for a few more minutes. I hope I ain't run nobody out here, because that's okay if I did. If this God thing's too much for you and everything, and I'll run you out and everything. You might get a good dose of addiction and alcoholism, and I might run you right back in here if you're lucky. Because there is no guarantees. I know that it's jails, institutions, and death, but it doesn't necessarily have to be in that order. You know? But there is a solution here. Suggested steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. And it works so good, other people use them, borrow them. You know why? They work so well. They work so well. Al-Anon borrowed them, NA borrowed them, CA borrowed them, SA borrowed them, because they work. That's the most important thing. If no one else gets anything out of this talk tonight, and I'm here to tell you, it works. It really works. If you work it. And I feel like now I got the point where I'm not actually just, I feel like there's just so much part of me that I live. You know, I got the point where they started working me a little bit. Now it's a way of life. That's what recovery is. It's a way of life. You know, yeah, I think about things, of course. You gotta give me brains to use. I mean, when I first got here, I had like 2 brain cells like the real one is. You know? But it's gradually come back. That's what I say, keep coming back. You know, it eventually started coming back to me, you know. And like, you know, and like my intelligence, that's okay. You know, I realized, and I'm a very intelligent person too. I'm still in it. But I've learned when it comes to the disease of alcoholism, I better place humility first. Because however smart I might have been in my life, when it comes to alcoholism, Anheuser-Busch might have made Budweiser, it made LT dumb. You know? Very dumb. I tell you, man, more and more will be revealed. Different phases. You'll learn the truth. Right, sometimes it ain't a good thing, but just keep trudging along. Keep persevering. Sometimes you're going to hurt, that's okay. You just keep trudging. You're going to have to practice these principles in all our affairs. Personalities. The toughest place I have for me to practice this, I come to this one, I can do it. It is easy. These are my brothers and sisters, alcoholics. We're family. We're brothers and sisters. I am your brother. I'm your brother. And you're my brother, sister. But the hardest place for me is underneath my own roof. At home. But you know what? Because of A, I have a home. You know, there's a lot of things I used to complain about, but when you go without something, and then God gives it back to you, it changes your attitude. And a lot of times it could be like, A could stand for attitude adjustment. You know, like when I get up in the morning, I gotta make that bed and everything, you know, and sometimes I gotta do them dishes. I'd be like, man, you know what? She have a better make up. You know? And that's how I really tried to show my attitude, share my gratitude of attitude to my higher power, to let him know how very thankful I am if I've taken care of what he has given me. You know, and not take it for granted. For everything. Even my toothbrush. You know? And there was a time when I everything for granted. I tell you, man. I have a twin brother. I want to bring that up because that's just a little bit of thing on here. I have an identical twin. We're 4 months apart, but he just celebrated 10 years. Because, you know, like, I've been around A and a while. I'm here, there, and then this and that and everything. Very, very rarely do you see a mom and her 2 sons and they with significant recovery time. You know, but this is a family disease, but I can honestly say our family's recovering. There's 3 members of it right there. My mom gave me my first starter shit. Boy, I was a horrible boy, because like I said, I grew up in alcoholism. You know, I had to admit that I became the one thing that I saw growing up that I said I would never become an alcoholic. You know, that was hard. My mom gave me my first big book. You know, and these are like the memories that no matter what happens, I'll always have. You know, that one alcoholic helping another. And all these resentments I used to have from growing up in that alcoholic home with all these isms going on. Because of A, I can look back and just realize, you know, we were sick. We weren't really bad. You know, and my mama didn't really mean to do bad. She probably did the best she could with what she had. We were just sick. And A took away a lot of those resentments. I had to come to recovery to learn that. You know, because if I didn't get in recovery, I wouldn't know that it was a disease or an illness. You know, so I had to learn all these things during the course of my recovery. Because it has been an education that I couldn't have paid for at Harvard. It's been an education in living, loving, trudging, trying, sometimes falling down. It ain't something necessarily the 99 times you get knocked down, it's the 100th time you get up. You know, it's been an adventure. And it was an adventure getting up here from Asheboro too, but I made it, Casey. Well, I'm running out of time, but before I close, I just want to say this. If anyone here tonight, in the sound of my voice, feels like there's no hope for them, there is. There's hope. Your life ain't a waste. It's a beautiful life. And recovery can give you a life beyond your wildest dreams and wishes. It is a life that's worth living. And it's a life worth sharing with others. If you're newcomer, I'm not going to say keep coming back. I'm going to say stick and stay. Feel what you have to feel. Keep trying. Keep trudging. And just be sincere. I'm going to close with this. The only thing that has been on trial for this alcoholic since I've been in Alcoholics Anonymous is my sincerity and my faith. How sincere, you know? And I think that's all any of us are on trial. How sincere, how far are you willing to go for your recovery? That's the only thing on trial. And he rewards it. And to learn self be true. So sincerity and walking the steps. Just sincere. You ain't gotta be perfect. Just gotta want it. Sincerely try. Well, I love y'all. If y'all, well, if someone's like, man, that guy right there, boy, he's got some issues, well, you know what? We're problem people, man. You know what I mean? We all have issues. You know, but I found a solution for mine. Yeah. So thank you for letting me all come out. I hope to meet some of y'all in these recovery circles, because recovery is a worldwide fellowship. Moore County, Randolph County, I went to the convention in Atlanta, boys have seen all that. Worldwide, right, with a therapeutic value of one alcoholic trying to reach out to another alcoholic without parallel. And if I only have one person tonight, even though there's a bunch of people here, if some person can leave here feeling a little bit better than what they came here with, I've done my job. Thank you for letting me share.